Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Bites. Hi, my name is Fong. I'm an entrepreneur, business strategist, real estate investor, speaker, and also a best-selling author. And every single day, I help others unlock the potentials and guide them to succeed. Whether it's to expand their exposure, increase their credibility, or simply add to their multiple streams of income. Now, today on Mastermind Bites, I feature another amazing person. And the reason why I have this show is because over the last few years, I've had the honor and the privilege to meet some of the most amazing people in the world, some celebrities, some masters of their skill sets, and just got to learn from them, be in their presence, understand how they became successful, and just hear their stories. And I just want to share some of those stories with you and some of those lessons learned that I've experienced from these amazing individuals. And today I'm very excited to be able to feature Conan himself, the Aquaman himself, and also the star of Game of Thrones, Mr. Jason Momoa. Now, this person is absolutely amazing. He's not only just an actor, but he's a director as well. He's a writer, and he's a person who's so down to earth, so calm, cool, and collected. And just to meet him a few times was one of those experiences that I didn't think I would experience from meeting a superstar like him, because he didn't feel egotistical. He didn't seem like it's all him, him, him. He had a great sense of humor. He made lots of jokes, and it's just so easy to listen to, so easy to talk to, and it was just a great experience. Now, he is a person that, as a great actor himself, what was interesting was that he never even thought about being an actor. His lifelong dream was simply just be a great father, because he was raised by a single mother, and he just didn't want to have that environment. So he just really wanted to be a father. He wanted to give back to his kids. He wanted to do a lot of great things with his family. So he's always wanted to become a great father, and that was his main goal. But he also wanted to become actually a professional rock climber. And at one point in time, he wanted to become a hockey player as well. But life kind of changes with different opportunities and different paths, and he became the actor we know today. And the thing is, even for somebody who's so successful and such a big movie star, the mindset is one of those things that sometimes they apply certain small strategies that we do ourselves. And I thought that was kind of interesting. I challenge a lot of my clients to tell them, hey, change your alarm clock and just switch it to something that's very motivating, so that you wake up engaged and empowered every single morning. Just that simple change will make a big difference in your mindset. And for him, he actually applies something like that's very similar to his mindset, so that he can overcome a certain challenge. And that challenge was not drinking. He's a big fan. He loves drinking Guinness. And during a period of time of shooting a movie, he was told that, okay, he can't drink, so therefore you need to get off of beer. So in order for him to actually overcome that mindset of wanting to have a drink, he actually got a travel mug that says Guinness on it. And he filled it up with water or juice or whatever it is. And he kept on drinking that, so that he thinks he's drinking Guinness to overcome that thought of not being able to drink. So I thought that was actually pretty interesting, that somebody like himself would apply that type of strategy just to get his mind over a certain hump or over a challenge. Now, there are 5 things that I thought was absolutely incredible that he himself applies to himself, or into his brand, or into his success, that I thought we could actually apply to ourselves, personal and entrepreneurship-wise as well. Number 1 is that you can be inspired and learn life lessons from anything. Number 2 is it's not what's on the outside that counts, it's what's inside that really, really matters. Number 3, it's don't give up on yourself. You never know what's going to happen. And also try something different all the time. And number 4, family first. And number 5, motivation is something that you can use to overcome your fear. In fact, using fear to be your motivation is absolutely important. So going back to number 1, and that is learning life lessons from anything, and finding those life lessons from even the hobbies that you have. Something that his mom got him into was skateboarding and also climbing. And those 2 activities actually gave him some of the most important life lessons that he's ever learned. And he's applied that throughout his entire career, throughout his entire life. For instance, just being able to skateboard, being able to be with the crew, see different terrains, experience how to pivot and maneuver around different environments, and that terrain changes all the time. The landscape changes all the time. So how do you adjust to that? Being able to hang out with your friends and the importance of friendship and teamwork, and also that crew that puts those terrains together, how important that was. So he found that passion around that group, and he found a way to apply that mentality to his growth and to his success as well. With rock climbing, he learned about facing your fears and problem solving by moving through and going through movement to solve problems with your hands and your feet, finding balance and applying balance to his overall life as well. So that's something that we can all actually apply. Think about the passions that you have. Think about the hobbies or the activities that you do. What type of life lessons can you learn from those and apply it to your daily life every single day? Number two is, it's not what's on the outside, but what's on the inside that counts. He was somebody that was discovered by a modeling agency, and at the very early stages of his career, he was a model. But very early on, he was already stereotyped as the pretty boy, the person who's always gotten jobs because of his looks. And he kind of didn't like that. He wanted to be known as somebody who's talented, or somebody who is very kind at heart, or somebody who is of value and inspirational. But everybody just saw him as that person who's a pretty boy. In fact, there's so many people that just call him a pretty boy, and he really didn't like that. So much so that many years later, he got into a bar fight, and he was actually cut on his face with a beer bottle with glass, and he required 140 stitches. Instead of looking at it as a down point, he actually goes, finally, I could remove that moniker of being, and that stereotype of being called a pretty boy. So he actually enjoyed the fact that he got cut, and then he could rebrand himself no longer as the pretty boy. Now, the thing is, I don't know if that actually applies, because so many people still think he's one of the most good-looking movie actors in the world right now, and also one of the most amazing actors because of his looks. And in fact, in some of the roles, they've incorporated that very scar that he got in that bar fight into the roles that he had, and it's made it more authentic. Now, another scenario was when he was playing Conan, and the thing was, somebody said, hey, I think Conan should actually have a broken nose in this scene. And sure enough, he actually asked somebody to punch him in the face so that he would break his nose, and so that he could get that right scene. Again, he didn't care about his appearance, and he didn't care about what other people said about his appearance. He just wanted to make sure that he's appreciated for who he is inside, the talent that he has, and the skills that he had. Now, that's also why he shows up to a lot of these galas where he's wearing a tank top, or to these conferences where he's so aloof and so easygoing and showing up in sweatpants, whatever was comfortable to him, because the appearance just didn't really matter as much to him as some other people do. Number three, never ever give up on yourself, and also try something different. At one of the lowest stages of his career, he's already done a few roles, did a few TV spots. He was actually auditioning for this, for one of these second, third roles of this actual movie. And he walked in, he goes, you know what? I think it would be kind of interesting to try something different. So he did something that's very ridiculous, way out of something that's out of his comfort zone. And after he finished doing that audition, he was actually so embarrassed about himself that he actually goes, you know what, I give up. I don't think this is gonna work. I don't think acting is gonna be is my career and something I should pursue. So he actually, in his mind, discounted himself because he tried something different. 2 days later, he got a call, and he said he actually got the part. So when he showed up, he goes, how the heck did I get that part? I mean, it was so embarrassing. It was so ridiculous. But in fact, it was because it was so ridiculous. It was because he tried something different that landed him the role. And it was because he got that role that it actually gave him more confidence to pursue more and more roles. And he would not be who he is today. He actually would not still be acting if he didn't land that role. So the lesson is, one, don't discount yourself, and two, always try something different, because you never know what that something different would actually do to the audience, to your fan base, to people who follow you, and maybe to your clientele. So always try something different and don't discount yourself. Number 4 is family first. He is somebody that I found that based on the stories he shared, based on the way he conducts himself in the interviews, is absolutely somebody who very, very values his family and loves his mom a lot. Very often he calls his mom a hero. He still calls himself a mama's boy. And because of that bond that he has with his mom, he still shares a whole bunch of his projects and his work with his mom. And he is absolutely thrilled to be able to introduce his mom to some of her favorite celebrities like Nicole Kidman and Julie Roberts and the like. So he's always wanted to give back to his mom. He loves his mom and gives her so much credit for being able to give him the mindset of an artist, because his mom's an art person and for somebody who paints. So he himself, he paints, he sculpts, and having that mentality of always seeing things differently, being inspired by nature, being inspired by different contexts and different textiles and different natural items that allows him to express his creativity. And he credits all that to his mom. But he also is one of those people that he's only acting because he wants to support his current family. He's only acting because it's a ways to a means. And number 1, it's family first. And therefore, he would like to be remembered as that person who was a great husband and a wonderful father. And that's something I thought was very, very important, because family is something that's very important to every single person. If you don't have your family supporting you, sometimes it's just not worth doing what you're doing. So that's something that really stuck out to me. And the last thing is turning your fears into a motivation, because everything in life, as he says, the best things in life, the treasures in life, the gems in life is just on the other side of that fear. So how do you overcome that fear? How do you overcome that stress? How do you overcome that obstacle, that conflict, that challenge? It's one step. Take that step. How do you overcome the fear of speaking? You take that step. How do you overcome the challenge of working out? You take that step. So you take that step to overcome any of those fears and use fear as a motivation. So that's why I thought that was very important, because as entrepreneurs, as business people, we always face fear and we have to overcome it. So if we can take that fear as a motivation to pursue more, to be more successful, then that's all we need to do, is take that extra one step. So I thought that was absolutely incredible. Those 5 things, again, those lessons learned that I got from Mr. Jason Momoa. Number 1 is you can learn all your life lessons from all the activities around you. Number 2, it's not what's on the outside, it's what's on the inside that counts. Number 3, don't discount yourself, try something different. Number 4, it's family first all the time. And number 5, change your fears into your motivation with one step. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, please go back to some of the other episodes on Mastermind Bites. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. I love looking at the comments. And if you like this show, we have the Peak Potential Success Show, and also the Make More Mind Bites and the Unlocking the Mind Behind Make More Work Less. So until next time, today is the day to unlock your potential. We'll see you later.